This is the Vivo X200 Pro and this is going to be the best camera phone of 2025. I say this because I've clicked around 1000 photos from this phone and I'm supremely impressed with the quality of photos. Be it humans, animals, daytime, nighttime, portraits, ultra-wide macros, you name it. It just kills at everything. So sit back, relax and enjoy this beautiful photo album because this video is going to be just that. Alright, so I started using this phone on 26th of November. I had an early morning flight to catch and because I'm an anxious traveler, I woke up super early. I had some time left so I took this photo on my dining table. This is a low light shot, completely unedited and this came out really well. And when I reached the airport, I clicked some photos and just look at the colors, the details and the right amount of punchiness, not too subtle, not too overdone. It just hits the right spot so you don't have to rely on aftermarket filters. You know what I mean, right? I clicked some awkward selfies too. But if you ignore the facial expressions and look at the details of my shirt, you can clearly see the fabric and can easily tell that it's a cotton shirt. And when I was going towards my cab, I shot this portrait video and when the person enters the frame, the focus shift is very smooth and the overall colors are also nice. Since it was raining, I also clicked some photos of these plants and just look at them. These are definitely wallpaper material and you can download them for free. No subscription required. Now before I get to the rest of the photos, let me tell you the camera specs. You get a 50 megapixel Sony LYT-818 sensor as the main camera, 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera and 200 megapixel Samsung HP9 periscope with 3.7x optical zoom and 100x hyper zoom with great clarity. Now if I compare it with the last year's X100 Pro, the sensor size of the main camera is smaller but the aperture is bigger. Selfie and ultra-wide camera are the same as the last time but the telephoto lens got a major upgrade. It's in fact the same one that they've used on the X100 Ultra, which is definitely great. The X200 Pro also features the V3 Plus chip that brings 30% improvement and there are some new camera features as well which I'll show you as I go along. Okay, so now that you know the specs, let's see some more photos. Alright, you see this cool transparent car? I took this photo from the main camera and the photo has turned out beautiful. But now, look at this. This is the macro shot of the disc brakes of the same car. The details are insanely good and I was totally surprised by the quality. I took some more photos of myself with the car and they also came out really well. Now these photos are taken at the evening time, 5:43 p.m. to be specific. It was kinda dark and I wasn't expecting much so I posed lazily. But again, the photos came out really well and there was not even a grain of noise in them. The event finally started and we went inside and I took this video. Looks like I'm sitting quite close to stage, right? Wrong. I was sitting this far. Yes, this is a zoomed in video and the clarity of the zoom is just exceptional, even in such lighting conditions. I also took a selfie here just to see how it does in low light and I was prepared to take a few of those, but in the very first selfie, I was happy with the results, but I still took another out of habit and it also came out really nice. So yeah, that was my first day with the Vivo X200 Pro. On the second day, it was too hectic and I couldn't click a lot of photos, but I saw this traffic signal. It looks ordinary from the main camera, but when I zoomed in, it was a little special. Even in this zoomed in photo, all the mess around the signal is just super clear and super crisp. I also took an ultra wide shot from the same spot, but I find the colors to be slightly muted. Now, I was back at the office and there were events to attend, videos to be made, so I handed over this phone to my colleague and asked him to shoot like crazy. And he did. First thing he did was shooting macros because with this telephoto camera, you can take some super detailed macros without having to go too close to the subject. The shots are super detailed, colors look good, and you can even shoot macro videos with it. But in one of the shots, even we got surprised. Yeah, we have this toy car in our office for over months, but we had no idea that there's a Cybertruck photo with icons on its dashboard. We came to know about this because of this macro shot. Yeah, these super close shots give you a different perspective that we usually miss out on. The next thing we tried is the zoom. First we shot some photos at 3.7x optical zoom. The photos are sharp, details are on point and the HDR is also well done. We pushed it to 5x so that we can compare it against the iPhone and here are the results. The photos on Vivo looks more pleasing to the eyes, although there isn't much difference in terms of details. Apart from that, we also clicked a lot of portraits from this phone, not because we wanted to test it, but because everyone wanted their profile pictures clicked. Yes, in portraits, you just can't beat Vivo. First of all, the photos look absolutely stunning. The edge detection is crazy good, it picks up even the smallest strands of hair, the details are top notch, the skin tone is not natural even on the Zeiss natural mode, but it's much more pleasing to the eyes and at the same time, it's not too processed as well. It's like the camera gets you, understands you, knows what you want, unlike... never mind. And of course, there are multiple focal lengths to choose from, and there's now an option for 135mm portrait as well, which is nice as you don't have to move a lot for taking portraits. I took a lot of random portraits of people minding their own business, dogs trying to wake up, people going to work on their bikes and whatnot. And all of these are moving subjects and are quite hard to capture, but the photos come out so well as if they are actually posing. Clicking good photos on this phone is just effortless. I also took this photo side by side with iPhone, and as you can see, the background blur on both is good enough, but Vivo captures the color of the t-shirt better and the facial details are also on point, while iPhone's photo is a bit overblown. We also took some ultra-wide shots and they also look very good. Not as good as the main camera or the telephoto lens, and when I compared this with iPhone, I noticed that Vivo has a slightly smaller FOV compared to iPhone, but other than that, there's not much difference. I'm also impressed with the videos that this phone takes, be it in the daytime or the nighttime. Just like the photos, there's no noise in low light videos too, which is quite common in smartphone cameras. Plus, in this particular video, we are going over a speed bump, but the video footage is completely stable. There's hardly any jerkiness or shake. You can also record up to 4K 120fps in the rear cameras and 4K 60 in all 4 cameras. Plus, this time, Vivo is also giving an option to record 4K 60 high-res log video. Now, it's not 4K 120fps like the iPhones, but at least you don't need an external SSD to record. Okay, so that's pretty much everything about the cameras on the Vivo X200 Pro. In my opinion, this is the best camera phone that I have ever tested. It performs well in all scenarios and you don't have to work for it. You just have to point and shoot and you get your best shot. Yes, it's an effortless, consistent camera and I'm keeping it. Let's talk about the rest of the phone. Starting with the design, this year we are getting 2 color options, the Cosmos Black and the Titanium Grey. We have the Titanium Grey with us and it definitely looks very premium. The in-hand feel is really good, but the weight distribution is a little off. But it's understandable because of the huge camera module. The phone is also more durable with IP68 and 69 rating, but it's also thinner this time. And yeah, the text from the back is now removed and that makes the phone look cleaner. On the front, the specs of the display didn't change much, but there are some meaningful changes. It's no longer fully curved like last time, which is good, and there's now an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner instead of the optical one, which is also a welcome change. The rest of the specs remain the same. It's still a 1.5K 120Hz LTPO panel, but the brightest numbers have been bumped to 4500 nits in peak brightness. The display gets pretty bright in daytime and it's easy on the eyes in the nighttime too. Plus, the movie watching experience is also good as it supports HDR10 and Dolby Vision on Netflix. The stereo speakers do get loud and there's a decent bass to it, but the sound separation could have been better. So yeah, in terms of design and build, there are some subtle and meaningful changes, but the battery has taken a big jump. Yes, the X200 Pro gets a bigger 6000 mAh battery, and in my usage, which involved a lot of camera usage, movie watching and taking some calls, it went from 100 to 30% in 5 hours, and the 90-watt charger charges the phone fully in about 45 minutes, which is good enough. See, Vivo has increased the battery size but reduced the charging speeds, which is okay, but I wish they kept the 120-watt PD charger in the box just like last time. Let's talk about the performance because I'm sure you're waiting for it. This phone is powered by the latest Dimensity 9400 with 16GB LPDDR5X RAM and 512GB UFS 4.0 storage. In Antutu, we got a score of 2.5 million, which is close to the advertised 2.6 million, and here are the scores in Geekbench. In GPU scores, there's a huge improvement compared to last year, but the stability is low at only 50%, but in CPU throttle test, it scores a healthy 83% in 15 minutes. Lastly, in PCMark battery life test, the phone scores an impressive 19 hours 28 minutes, which is really good. I also tried gaming on this phone and you can play BGMI, COD Mobile in the higher settings and the gameplay is also very smooth, but you don't get peak graphics option in COD Warzone. I also played Wuthering Waves and it was playing just fine at 60 FPS and there were no problems at all. The phone also didn't cross 40 degrees in any of the gaming sessions, which is good. Now the phone is running on FunTouch OS 15 based on Android 15 and is promised to get 4 years of updates and 5 years of security patches. FunTouch OS has gotten better with slightly smoother animations and more features, plus this time you get a lot of AI features too, like circle to search, AI erase, call transcript and more. But there were some bloatwares as well, but thankfully you can delete them all. Lastly, on connectivity front, the phone is pretty sorted with 17 5G bands, dual SIM support along with eSIM support, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, NFC and Type-C USB 3.2 Gen 1 port. See, I've tested a lot of phones this year, but Vivo X200 Pro is a phone that I genuinely enjoyed a lot. The camera experience on this phone is on another level. It's just so good to see that the cameras on Android has gotten so better. I really hope that Vivo prices this phone well so that more and more users can actually experience this. So yeah, that's it from my side. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, press that like button and I'll see you in the next one.